Yo, what's up? What's going on? Oh, it's a little came back from the gym. Still skinny. What's up, man? My name is Steve Stewart, aka Sneaky Link Steve, and the link is in my bio. The link's in my bio. Yeah, I just wanted to make this a series of a series called "I Wish I Never Met Her." It's just based on certain relationships that I've had in the past that maybe it can help you out dealing with whatever you're dealing with in life. I need a haircut, so I got this wrapped up. Anyway, yeah, so a friend of mine is like, Steve, you always tell the craziest stories, so I was like, let me just tell this story here. So I bumped into my high school, well, she wasn't my high school sweetheart, but we went to high school together. I'm down in New York, I'm in the city, go out with some friends, get some drinks, and I bumped into, we're gonna call it Andrea. That's not her name, but I'm gonna call it Andrea. So I bumped into Andrea, and yeah, she was different, from high school. I'm a skinny dude, so she was a little, a little chubby, and okay, so she was a little, to me, curvy, but people always say, it's not a compliment when a woman is a little heavy. They say she got a pretty face, means something else is wrong, type of thing. But to me, everything worked out, was fine. We shared stuff, shared a brownies. She loved brownies, right? I remember, brownies, because I had brownies. I kept buying brownies, and this is before BJ's and all that. So I was going to my mom and my grandmother like, yo, can I get some brownies? They're like, why you need a case of brownies? I'll try and get with her. Anyway. She ain't need a case, but I'm bringing brownies every day. Trying to like, what I'm saying, like the brownies to a soul or something. I don't know, but I was just buying I was just putting the brownies in my bag and my jacket. Walking to the bus like, yo, I can't wait to see her. Anyway, I bumped into her, and she bumps into me. She's like, because I didn't even recognize her. She's like, Steve. I'm like, oh, what's up? I'm like, who the heck is this? And all my boys was like, yo, Steve. Yo, we know how much you get paid. You should know this woman at all. I'm like, first of all, I was like, you're right. Then I was like, yo, what the? It hit me late. Like, yo, y'all just disrespect me. In front of, I always tell them disrespect me behind my back. Anyway, so now she's like, yo, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, miss, do I know you? Like, I was like, what, what you see me on, Plenty of Fish, POF? She's like, no. I was like, oh, I don't know how I know you, shorty, because, yeah, you are too high for my caliber of ladies. I like a nice 6'7". This girl was like a 10. And she's like, I'm Andrea. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, well, that's cool. Like, she's like, with the high school together. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, yo, you look. She's like, yeah, I know. I look different. And I'm like, oh, yeah. She was like, yeah, I got my body done. And I was like, oh, okay. So shorty had one of them BWW joints, right? So I'm like, oh, that might be Buffalo Wild Wings. She got one of them BMW joints, right? Oh, a gastric something. Because I was like, gastric? I didn't know. Well, see, later on, I'll do another part too, because like she had a couple of different things going on, and she was going and traveling for different countries for it. Like she had got some gastric stomach ulcer thing done like somewhere cheap, like $2,000 here. Another place for another a new butt, or they took the stomach out and put it back. Something. She's giving me the whole play by play, but I'm over here like, yo, I can't believe this. And I was like, yo, I just wanted to be around the new parts. I was like, I worked on cars, but man, I'm like, yo, hopefully shorty get, allow me to, change her oil. You know what I mean? So I was like, hopefully I get a free oil change after, 3 visits. Right? So, yeah, so then we started dating, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, I'm in here living. You know what I mean? Cause like I said, she I'm kind of tall, I'm like 6'2", 6'3". And she kind of tall too. So we just in here, like winning. I felt like I was winning. So making a long story longer, we had the movies, and no, we was watching the movie. Then I realized something was wrong. Something's wrong with her carburetor or something, because, or whatever you call it, body-wise, or she needed a tire. Like she would cry, but she would burp, right? So we watching something. We was watching Notebook or something. And she just, this movie, and I'm over here like, yo, what is all this noise? So I ain't think nothing of it. And she ain't saying nothing. So I'm just hearing her, like she hitting brakes or something, right? I can only connect to a car with this because I ain't never experienced nothing like this before in my life. Then I fall asleep. I like to fall asleep early because you don't know if women snore. And so she's snoring, but she burping snoring like, so now, you know, I make a couple of jokes. She laughing. It sounded like an Eddie Murphy like burping laugh. So eventually I got tired of it. I'm like, look. Oh, then she changed her name too. Her name was Andrea, but then now she got her body different. Now she just go by Dre. So I'm like, Dre. I'm like, yo, what's going on, you know, with the burping stuff? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, lady, I know you hear this burping. Like, I hear it. Like, you gonna act like you ain't got this Easter egg. You know, it's around March now. But I'm like, you ain't got something in your neck or something. Like, yo, you know. So I'm like, so I started asking her, like, you know, everything's all right? You want to go to the doctor? She's like, I don't trust doctors in America. I'm like, lady, you went all over the place to get your body done. So she was like, get out. She burping. Steve, get out. So I'm like, yo, I just left. So I heard her on the phone with her girl, you know, and I'm like, oh, you loud and I hear you burping and you kicking me out. That's cool. So then one day, you know, I kind of rekindled everything. I got back in the house. I just went through her paperwork. I went through all her stuff because I was like, she need medical attention. And then I saw all the doctor bills. Like she had a doctor bill in Guam for her breasts. Her hips was done somewhere else. Like, yo, she spent like 10 bands on her body. And it was just random places. Like she had gotten her, what was it? She spent like $7,000 in Thailand. I'm like, who spent 7 bands? My boys go to Thailand. Who spent $7,000 in Thailand? You like the richest person in the world if you spending $7,000 in Thailand? I'm like, my boys might go to Thailand for a month with $275. She spent almost $7,000 in Thailand. I'm like, yo. Then I realized you can find half the stuff. She got a body finance. I didn't even know that even existed. So I'm like, yo, you got your body done and on finance? So then I realized she was keeping me around because I did have a decent paying job. You know, shout out to my fellas. They was talking real breezy. But she was like, yo, Steve, since, you know, you are with me and everything, I need for you to help me with my body payments. I'm like, lady, I pay a car note. I ain't never gonna pay a body note. So I'm like, yo, who was the co-signer of this body before you? I know somebody else. Because see, when I would see her like on like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, some kind of thing, right? I'm like, who's seeing you Tuesday and Thursday? We need to go half on these payments. But man, I wound up letting her go, man. There's a couple other parts with that, but this is just another part of I wish I never met her. Yo, stay tuned. I'm Sneaky Link Steve. My link is in my bio. Tomato.